to another episode of Raging Out in Clash. My name is Jen, and I'm here with SK.
Hello. What, I'm not lovely anymore?
You're always lovely.
Uh-huh.
What have we got for everybody today? We are going to discuss the make that we never discussed last episode. There's events going on right now. There is a whole bunch of stuff in the shop. There is offers, new scenery, some skins. There's a challenge in there, so we'll talk a little bit about that. We will recap how our leagues went, talk about our current war, and we will kind of update on how my base is going and the struggles and whatnot. And yeah, so where do you want to start?
Probably wars. How our clan leagues finished up, because that's done finally. I think everyone breathed a sigh of relief at the end, because basically,
yeah, I think it's a general consensus of, are we freaking done yet?
Massacre is the word I would use.
I think I still stand by my theory in that us spinning on the second day always seems to give us a tougher matchup. And I know that, it doesn't make sense because people are in that league regardless, but we got slaughtered this league, like absolutely slaughtered. There was, when we spin on day one, the last couple times, there was some Town Hall 9, there was Town Hall 9s and Town Hall 10s at the bottom that our 7s and 8s could at least hit. Our 7s and 8s got 2 and 3 stars this league. Like there was nothing for them to hit. There was definitely more developed bases this time around than there was last time around. And that could just be, the luck of the draw, the way that the matches were.
Well, it wasn't so much the developed bases. It's just, I think, the fact that there weren't actually any 9s available. Because our 7s can handle some of the 9s to get at least a star.
And most of the town halls were definitely in the middle. Because I remember looking at the base, and it's like, because the first thing that I do when I'm looking for bases for our 7s and 8s to hit is, are there any town halls that are near the edge? Because our 7s and 8s are skilled enough where they know that they can snipe around and then rush the town hall or whatnot, get percent and stuff like that. And I remember looking every single war, and there just wasn't any town halls near the edge. It seemed like they were all in the middle. And even on bases to get lots of percent, like our 7s and 8s struggled. And like I said, our 7s, 2 of them ended up with 2 stars, 1 had 3, and I think our Town Hall 8 only had 4. So it was a little bit it was a little bit disappointing, this leagues, because there was less for them to hit, and I felt bad for them.
Well, I think the fact that, like, half or more than half, and the bottom town hall that they had, the weakest town hall they had, was either 10s or 11s. Probably most likely 11s. So,
Yeah, there was only a couple wars with like 3 10s at the bottom. There was one with 1 or 2. And the rest it was 11s and up. So, having a Town Hall 7 and an 8, try and hit that. Like, it's very difficult.
Yeah. So, we kind of guessed this from the last episode, just when it first began and we were in the throes of it. But ultimately we got demoted as we expected, which
135 stars, our lowest star count ever.
Well, ever. To be fair, towards the end we were you and I were like, well, you were telling me that it's a sinking ship. Mm-hmm. You might as well hit some of the more developed, like the crew max 13s to try and practice and get your 3 stars, rather than obviously going for the copious amounts of 12s and getting an easy 3 star. So, we could have got a couple of extra ones if you and I weren't going down that route.
But we were dead last. Like, we didn't win a single war. There was not even a war that was close. Like, we got slaughtered.
I think there was one more that I thought, okay, well, maybe I felt like we didn't lose, like, because we fell on our face. Do you know what I mean? As in, a lot of these people were not very good hitters in general.
They weren't.
Like, you look at their attacks, and it was pretty much maybe. Well, I mean, to be fair, they probably just saw us and just sort of, I don't know, pressed their face against the screen and got 3 stars or something like that, right? To do this, deploy the troops, because when you're a 10-12 hitting a 10-7, do you really need to care what you're doing? But I think generally though, when they were hitting like R11s or you or I, it didn't seem like they were as probably skilled as some of our R11s have been. So yeah, I mean, there was. I think it was towards one of the latter wars where I thought, okay, well, these people are not actually that good, So that wasn't so much a slap in the face of, haha, we'll just steamroll you, because that hurt a little less. We still lost by a considerable margin, but it didn't feel like we got steamrolled in one of those wars. Only one out of the 7, but
It was still Town Hall 10s. I mean, if they had a Town Hall 10 at the bottom, they were still, hitting 3 Town Halls down to hit a Town Hall 7 and whatnot. We did have a couple shining moments. I mean, some of our 11s did, fairly well on stars for the matchups. They struggled. Some of them struggled a little bit in the beginning. Even just hitting their equal. There was a couple 1 stars, which was unfortunate. On defense, our Town Hall 10, one of our Town Hall 10s defended a Town Hall 12 and a Town Hall 13. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty crazy. Both attacks were kind of an E-drag spam. And, I mean, if any base is going to defend E-drags, it's going to be a spam attack and, not funneling properly and whatnot. And so that was kind of exciting, 2 defenses from Town Hall 10 on those bases. So...
Yeah. I don't think our performance was particularly bad.
No.
Just more of our match. I mean, yeah, we did get some odd moments where we're like, what are we thinking? Or what is that guy doing? But we weren't particularly, we didn't all suck at the same time, is what I would say. I don't think we did particularly bad. I think that was more due to the matchups. So... generally, I mean, an overall conclusion for me is I'm glad it's over. I'm glad we're back to regular wars. And I think the clan would not disagree with me on that.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, in terms of our regular wars, we're in our first war after leagues. And it's an interesting one because we went into leagues with a 12 war win streak. So this is our 13th war. But the clan we're facing is exactly the same as well. They've also got a 12 war win streak. So one of us is losing 12 war win streak today or tomorrow.
Or if we end up tying, we'll both lose it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think that would be more painful. Painful.
They definitely have the advantage. They've got
the
2 13s, a 12. What's up?
They engineered. Look at their 9s.
They're engineered, and I mean their 9s don't have the expos, and they've got 2 13s, a 12, and 3 11s. And so that 12 is extra because we've got 2 13s and 3 11s at the top. So that 12 is kind of extra for them. And they are rushed as well and engineered. And the one good thing about this war already is they've done 90% of their attack. So
I think because there are only 2 or 3 people in this clan.
Yeah, it's only a couple people.
So...
but 4 attacks left that can actually do anything, and they've got 6 bases that still need clearing. So at most, they're going to get another 4 stars, which will give them 28. So I mean, if we can at least clear 2 to 10 and then get a 2-star on number 1, then we should win. And I'm very confident that we are going to win.
I like how you just said if we can clear 2 to 10 and get 2-star on 1. Like, that's like a really good performance in any war, Jen. I don't think you gave any leeway there in war. You know, it's different if you say, if we clear from like 3 down and then it's okay for the top 2, you know, but like there's no leeway. You're just wanting 1 lost star.
I can properly back you up now, so that's acceptable.
Oh, is it? And there's 2 10 out of 13, so let's just remember that. And that we have to hit. So you're saying that we have to 3-star one of those 10 out of 13s?
Number 2 is rushed, and I'm very confident that should the 11s clear themselves, they can take out number 3, because number 5 and 6 right now are more developed than number 3. So I know that the 11s can take out number 3. So that would give you and I both a chance at number 1 and 2. And if we've got both of us as proper Town Hall 13 hitting the bases, I like our odds.
Do you like your odds because you're part of those odds?
Well, I can properly back you up now.
Yes. And to be fair, number 2 is that base that you just love hitting with that.
I know.
Hogs and Minor hybrid thing. So, yeah, thanks backing me up. But yeah, so I just wanted to point out that giving 1 star away, and that's you saying, oh yeah, we've got like comfort there. That's a really good performance any other day as well. Just remember that.
I know.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll win. And it does annoy me sometimes playing clans where, you know, it's just 2 or 3 people and they're just, you know, that's their clan and they've got multiple accounts and whatnot. But the plus side of it is that when they just attack and they keep attacking because they just like put 1 phone down, pick up the other phone, or, you know, switch accounts on the same phone or what have you. So, you know, you get a lot of their bulk of their attacks in very quickly. So there is that sort of thing, advantage. Obviously on the flip side is if they are, I don't know, really, really skilled, then all you just see is all your bases rolled over one after the other sequentially. And there is no sort of, you know how sometimes you're wondering, you know, about these attacks and, okay, this person has an attack that you don't actually know if they're going to be a good attacker or not. Whereas if you know it's all the one person and therefore the first few hits are really good, pretty much they're not going to fumble for the other bases either, so... But yeah, so fingers crossed we win.
Yeah.
So we can get our unlucky 13th win.
Yes. Well, I would like to... I mean, I'm not saying let's go on a huge run, but, I mean, we've got about 11 more wars before we knock out that next red one. So we gotta keep going.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we did have a break with leagues, so technically if you think of this as our first win, and don't, you know, think of it as a 13th win.
Yeah. And realistically, then like if we can win the next 12, that would be like what we've done, like, because this was probably right after leagues as well, the 12 that we were on, because there's so many wars that you can do before leagues comes again. So we'll see.
12. Just 12.
So, before we get into all the fun stuff with the offers and stuff, let's talk about my base, because I'm excited about my base.
Alright.
I've been upgrading.
So, how's your base getting along, Jen?
Well, right now, I've got my king and my champion down, because right after leagues, I had enough dark elixir. So, I put my king down first because he takes longer, and then I unlocked super goblins. I waited until I got the potion. I unlocked super goblins, and in 90 minutes, I raided 140,000 dark elixir. It was absolutely insane, but that gave me enough dark elixir to put my champion down at the same time. And I mean, I'm kind of OCD in that I'm making sure that my builders are ending at a specific time, especially like right before leagues start. When the season pass ends, I'm making sure that I've got builders the next day. When leagues is about to end, I'm making sure I have builders so I can put my heroes down. I'm kind of looking at what I have for upgrades and timing it so, the builders are there for me at those times. And then I that's when I use the builder potions as well to either speed up if I need to and whatnot. So I'm excited because that's one more level on my king. He's going to be 68 and my champ is going to be 12. And right now my queen is 70, my warden is 45. So with the hero potion, they're both maxed. So I'm okay with that. It's going to take me forever to get them maxed, but my thought process is get them to the point where I can use a potion and they'll be maxed. Because the potions, like they come up in the season pass all the time. And I'm not saying that I need to use them every single time in war. There are attacks that I don't need to use them, but the wars where, it's going to be really close, I know that I can use them and they will be maxed if I need them. So that was my mentality, around the heroes and whatnot. I'm excited because I have a max siege barracks. So when I'm raiding, I don't even have to use regular troops. I can just, especially if it's dark elixir and they've got a storage on the outside somewhere, throw that siege barracks down. I get a max P.E.K.K.A, a bunch of wizards coming out. And I don't even need to let the whole thing play out and have the CC troop come out because, the P.E.K.K.A and the wizard is usually enough. So I'm excited because it's maxed. And that was the first one that I wanted to get maxed. So I did. And in terms of upgrading everything, all of my Seeking Air Mines are upgraded. And I thought that those were, traps I've always done first because they're, as we've discussed in the past, they're things that you can't scout. So it's hard to tell what levels are and whatnot. So did all of my Seeking Air Mines. And now I'm working on my Teslas, which I was shocked that there are 2 levels of pretty much every single defense. And I did not know that there was 2 levels of Teslas because I think we talked about it last episode. The only other Town Hall level where there's 2 levels to upgrade is Town Hall 7. And so I was quite shocked. I've got 2 of them going the second level, so I'm excited about that. Just about have them all with the first level. And I haven't done any other defense. I've just been working on traps. I've been working on getting my small bombs upgraded as well, because those are the ones with that blizzard attack that is still quite strong. Having enough of those around the town hall will destroy the wizard, so I've been getting those up. And because they take the shorter time to upgrade, that's where, like I said, I'm fitting them in. It's like, okay, this one's short. I know that I can put that one to upgrade, and it'll finish at the end of the season when I get all that loot kind of thing. So that's where I'm kind of going back and forth between the long and the short upgrades, just to keep my builders so I have them available for when I need to do my heroes kind of. Is that, how did you decide what you wanted to upgrade when you started Town Hall 13?
So when I started Town Hall 13, what I decided to upgrade, so bar the Town Hall, because the Town Hall is still a defense and you have been upgrading that. But what determined what I would upgrade was what was available at the time. So my upgrades were pretty much determined by Supercell because they don't release all the defenses in one go that you can upgrade. So you have to remember there's probably 2 or 3 content upgrades releases afterwards. So it wasn't like I could get to choose to do a canon before I do an expo. I think the expos came out first or something like that, right? Or I can't even remember. So Supercell decided for me. They only gave me a small selection of defenses that I could do, and then I get the next batch, and then I get the next batch.
That's true.
So, but in terms of what I would do first is I think I've always mentioned this, and I always do this, is I always do the traps first. Because they are valuable to war, and they don't. I like the fact that they're not visible when people are getting your base. So I've always done the traps first, if I can, if they're available to be upgraded. And then, yeah, depending on what's actually available, I'll do the upgrades for defences that I think combat the meta at the time. So depending on what it is, it could be wizard towers, it could be archer towers, or it could be cannons. I think they released the archers and correct me if I'm wrong, could be completely wrong, but I think they released the archer tower and the cannon at the same time. And I think I chose to do a lot of cannons because at the time, it wasn't so much air, but the cannon packed a pretty punch against heroes. And that's why I chose to do some of. I still did my archer towers at the same time, but I did focus on cannons above archers. So I might have 3 cannons on the go and 2 archer towers on. So, but yeah, so. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, so I mean, my upgrades are dependent on what Supercell releases, because I'll probably have finished by the time they release the next set.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. A lot of my thinking when I'm doing upgrades, I know you said you did cannons, focus on the cannons first. For me, it's kind of in my head okay, what defense can shoot both ground and air kind of thing. So that's why I've kind of always focused on my archer towers, then my wizard towers, and then I go to the mortars and the cannons because they only shoot the ground.
In the past, I've done that. But, 13th time around, sometimes I might like to change some things, so... And
today, I do have... today, my Town Hall finished, so it is a level 5 Town Hall 13.
You get the big boom.
Get the big boom now. So, yeah, but I mean... For other defenses and stuff, I haven't even touched, like I said, I haven't touched a single thing. It's all been traps in my Town Hall. So,
and see, there you go. And you got a 99% defense.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't really, his troops were max, but his heroes were far from max. Time failed.
But that Town Hall probably helped.
I did get a couple. I think I defended every single time in leagues. I think I had about 4. You and I both had 4 defenses in leagues. So I was quite impressed with that because, I mean, in leagues we were definitely getting hit by max bases. So I kind of, looked at the bases that I was running in leagues, and I thought I would try this one, given that he was using a Pekka Bobat or whatever, and he kind of steamrolled my base. So I know now not to use this base. When somebody's using Pekka Bobat, I can see in their camps because and I mean, to be fair, like I said, I've only done trap. I haven't done anything else. So he was basically hitting a Town Hall 12 with some trap.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be too hard on yourself, And it was hit by their number 1 as well, so.
But yeah, so that's where we are with wars and how my base is doing. What do we got now? We've got the...
Mate?
Let's talk... The mate, yes.
I feel like you're trying to avoid talking about this.
Okay, we're talking about the make.
So this is, I guess, the usual competition whereby people that are creative and have the technical know-how can design either a Barb King skin or a scenery skin, and the winner, as chosen by Supercell, gets a cut of the profits, or up to a maximum of, I can't even remember how much, but it's quite substantial. I think it's 25 grand or something like that, is it not? So they ran it for a few weeks, people voted and whatnot, and the results are in. So I thought that you and I could have a look at them and just give what our thoughts are. Particularly, I'm interested in whether you think they're on par with what Supercell has been churning out from their own artists, and whether you would, consider purchasing them if they were on sale. So we'll start off with the Kings. So,
the 3 finalists that I've got here for the King, I'm assuming these might have been the runners-up then, maybe?
Yeah.
There's a Leader King, a Barbarian Viking, and then the Savage King that ended up winning. The Leader King, see, the thing that I like about the Savage King, the one that won, it looks polished. It looks like something that Supercell would turn out. Like if it was promoting the next skin for the heroes, that's something that I would expect Supercell to be sending out. Like it looks that crisp, it looks clean, it looks professionally done. Whereas you can, and I mean, I don't know if this is why it didn't win, but I mean, the Viking one and the Leader King, they kind of look like cut and paste, kind of like you're taking different things and just pasting it on and then trying to polish it up as much as you can. Mm-hmm. They still look all right, but you can definitely tell.
Yeah, but I think Supercell kind of took it into consideration that is user content, and it's more the concept rather than the finished article. I mean, as long as you could convey what concept you wanted.
Right. I think the Savage King definitely has more detail, like fine details, and I think that's probably why. Like, when I say fine details, like you can see the crown on the belt. I mean, it's got like there's every little detail in every bit of its uniform or whatever you want to call it. Whereas the Viking one, like it's a little bit more plain. There's not like I feel there could have been more on the sword. There could have been more shown on the pants, on his throw over his shoulders, even on the helmet. There could have been a lot more details and stuff like that. The Leader King, I mean, there's a little bit more details in that. You know, you've got the emblem on the side, you've got the jewels in the crown and whatnot. So that one's a little bit better, but...
But do you like the concept that you could have the clan crest on his soldier pants? I would, if it was an actual skin and you purchase it and it was actually clever enough to implant the shield colours.
That would be cool.
I don't know if our, particularly purple shield would match the flaming orange. But yeah, that concept, I guess, you like.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I agree that obviously the Savage King is done by someone that has lots of skill in creating those 3D models. The thing that I don't like, well, I don't know if I don't like it, but there's something about the fact that so 2 out of the 3 ultimate finalists, right, and winner, 2 of them have an axe rather than a sword.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like he should have a sword and not an axe. No, and I like the concept of the axe, like it goes well with that character. But I feel like he should have a sword. I mean,
because the axe is for Val. The axe is for the Val.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, that might be it. I'm not sure, but there's just something about the fact that he has an axe, whereas I think he should have a sword, and I don't know why. But I'm saying that even if the Savage King had the sword, I don't think it would go with the Savage King. The axe goes with that design, yeah, but it's just the fact that it's an axe. So that's what I'm not really sure what my point is here, but I just feel like he should have a sword.
Mm-hmm. The thing, looking at like all the art and stuff that went in, like for the submissions and stuff, and yeah, the one only has the sword, the other ones have a Yeah.
So, but I like. Well, I don't know if it's intentional, but the winner, he's got like the blue kind of markings on him. Kind of goes with the champ, with that marking across her face.
Yeah.
So would you purchase any one of those three?
I would purchase it as part of the gold pass. I would not, and I mean, that's just me because I haven't purchased any other skin just on its own because, I mean, I'm not getting anything from playing dress up. I want something for my money. So okay. I would purchase it as part of a gold.
What if it was $1? Like, so you know how generally our skins, like the one-off skins, tends to be quite expensive in my opinion. If it was
for $1, I probably would because I've spent $1 on stupider stuff.
Good. And would you buy like any one of those three?
I would probably get the Leader King or the Savage King. I don't think I would get the Viking.
Cool. I mean, I'm sure, like, when they start to make it and stuff like that, like, with Supercell, they'll make it, like, polished and stuff, so you never really know, I mean, what the finished article is going to be like. I do wonder, though, if they didn't choose the Leader King because they were thinking, crap, I don't know if we can code that. I can, because obviously, the concept is you would have your clan crest on it. It would not make sense to have that particular crest and that one only. So I wonder if, because obviously the decider, the judges from Supercell will be thinking about, okay, well, how do we do this? So I'm thinking they probably thought, how can we do that so that it's dynamic like that?
I don't know if I like the orange. I think if they were to go the route and have chosen that one and allowed the clan emblem on the side, I think that the colors from the emblem should have been incorporated in his entire outfit.
Oh yeah. So like if it was purple crest, it'd be dark purple colors. Yeah. No, but I think that's what it's meant to be. I think that is the concept, that your clothes would mimic that crest as well.
Because I don't like the orange.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't think it would go with purple crest. But yeah, so I think the judges probably took that into consideration. That yes, it's a great concept, but we can't code that right up, like without creating, I don't know how many crests there are, but then you'd have to make how many skins. Okay, so on to the scenery. I haven't seen these, so.
No, I haven't looked at any of these either. I'm looking at the P.E.K.K.A one right now.
So the P.E.K.K.A one is
Ancient P.E.K.K.A Ruin. I think that would have been an interesting one. Very gloomy for sure, but I kind of like the mistiness of it, and I like that.
I feel like instead of the red glowy bits, if you put purple glowy bits.
Purple, yeah, that would have been nice. Yeah. And then the Dragon's Graveyard. I feel like I get that it's a graveyard, but I think that dragon carcass on the side is just too big. There's too much on the right-hand side, and then just lava-y stuff, glowy stuff on the left. I think the balance is off.
But you have to remember that in the actual game, that's where the boat is.
Right, but there's still stuff down there. In that, like, there's still stuff there. There's still buildings there. They're just on the land. So that's why I think that, I think it's too cluttered on the left.
Okay.
Or on the right. The Colosseum. This one looks pretty sharp. I like it. That Wizard Tower incorporated into there.
Is there a picture of the whole thing, or just elements?
At the bottom, if you scroll down, it's got it on the like the whole thing.
I don't like this website for it. It's really hard to navigate. I feel
like I'm clicking in. Like you click on the submission, and then it gives you 4 photos.
Oh right, okay, I see it now.
To the bottom. And I see this one I find is more like, do you see what I mean with balance, where he's got stuff on the top and the left, and then he still has stuff on the bottom left where he's got, you know, the edge and then the lava flowing underneath it and whatnot. So this one I like. Mm-hmm. I do like this.
Okay. And then the
winner was the Inferno Town. Oh yeah, this one looks definitely professionally done. And I mean, like, wow, look at this one when you look at the whole, you know, as a whole on the base. I mean, there's the unfortunate thing is, where's the boat? Like, there's no way that you could put a boat down there on that left side. But I mean, everything else looks really good, I think.
Okay.
Very sharp.
So
the orange. I don't think I would have picked this one as the winner. I think I would have picked one of the other ones.
Really?
I probably would have picked the Pekka one.
Okay.
I do. I Pekka one.
So yeah, that's what I just wanted to say about the make. I just wanted to see what your opinions were. Do you think that, obviously, skill played a lot as a skill?
I do. It was quite obvious that the ones that were picked were professionally done and someone who knew what they were doing and could polish it up and make it look fancy. Mm-hmm. I think that helped.
Because, I mean, I guess if you've got the concept and you can't bring it to life, then, yeah.
And I mean, that's part of the contest, right? It's taking your idea and being able to display it as much as you can.
The make.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's next?
We've got, where's my list? Okay, we've got the make, event, scenery, and challenge left. So, events. I'm just getting paid. Have I got compensated for them changing the Clan Games reward for the Gold Ruin? No, I have freaking not. I have not gotten my Gold Ruin.
But they didn't say when they were gonna do it, Jen. It could be, you know, cumulative over a set period of time.
I call bull crap.
Okay,
so one gem donation going on, right? Like, is that supposed to be compensation? The 1 gem donation that I already have because I have the gold pass? Because that's not compensation for a gold ruin.
But not everyone has the gold pass, Jen.
Well, I do, and they should take into consideration that they took away my gold ruin, and they've given me nothing in return for it.
If you can afford the gold pass, then really should you be groaning about a gold ruin?
I'm not impressed.
Okay.
Valves must use four Valve troops to get a 400 experience, a resource potion. Thank goodness you only have to do 10 attacks.
Have you started any of these?
No.
When did these start? I'm thinking they started a while back and there's only a day left. I'm like, crap, I better get on that.
2 days ago, I think.
Oh my goodness.
And then there's Titanic Strength with using 6 giants for 400 experience, 5 wall rings, And as well, only 10 attacks. And I'm going to say thank goodness for both, because I do not use either in my raiding attack. So those are the events that are going on right now, as well as the 1 gem donation. We've got some other things. We'll talk about the Warrior King Hero skin. So
Well,
just
let's
like
just, this
last
is
year,
the whole
for-
kind of Lunar New Year celebrations, right?
Yeah, I was just going to say, just like last year, when Lunar Year was happening, there was the Queen skin, and now we have the Warrior King skin. As well, I don't know if you know this, but because I didn't get the Lunar Queen from last year, they've offered it to me again.
Mm-hmm.
So
much for that kind of one-time offer.
Yeah. Well, and then I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't want the King skin, but now it's got the Queen skin. It's like, okay, well, now I can get both because I kind of regretted not getting it. And then it's just like, well, are they going to do the same thing for the championships? Because if they do the same thing for the championship, then maybe I would get the King, the champion King or whatever. But I don't know if they're going to do that. Because remember, for the championship, the champion Kings.
Right, okay, I see.
And I can get that because you had to purchase it, right? So are they going to do the same thing? Are they going to have a champion queen and they're going to offer both of them again? Because if they are, then maybe I should pay the $13.99 and get both these skins. But then I'm thinking I'm paying $27, $28 for 2 things that I can't actually touch in my hands. So I don't know. Like, I've spent $27, $28 on stupider stuff, but this is just like, do I really want the skins that bad when I have like 12 other ones of each hero that I haven't even worn yet?
That you don't even wear. But like you said, that was the one skin that you thought that you actually felt that you wanted to get, and you actually regretted not getting it. So
I've got 9 more days to make up my mind. I'm still leaning towards no, because
you could just get the Queen if you don't want to get the King.
No, it's the whole thing about having OCD and having to have the set, right? So if I get the Lunar Queen and the Lunar King, and then they don't do the same thing for the Champion King when they bring out a Champion Queen, I'm going to be mighty crapped on. Like, I'm going to be mad.
You only have yourself to blame.
And then, too, instead of $13.99, once, I'm having to do it twice. And it just makes it so much more.
But you'd have them.
I know.
So what do you think of... are you thinking of getting it?
Have I what?
You could always just get the Queen and be done with it.
No, because then what's the point of getting the Queen if I don't get the King? It's supposed to be a set. And
nobody says it's a set. You can make the set however you want.
No,
and you don't wear them.
I don't know, because if this is the trend that they're going with, obviously they're going to come out with a freaking Warden skin for Lunar Year and then a Champion skin for Lunar Year.
That's next year. So are you going to be lamenting it for 2 years in a row?
I don't know.
What do you think of how he looks?
I like the Queen better. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I do think the Queen's better. I think there's something odd with his helmet, personally.
Yeah,
his face! He looks... I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say, he almost looks like he's the Monkey King kind of thing.
Yeah, he doesn't look like... I think they could have done... I think maybe it's just there's not a lot of detail, whereas the Queen, like, she's very detailed. Mm-hmm. And he just looks plain. I don't know. That's my simple explanation. He looks too plain.
Well, it's not always about being fancy or pretty.
And what about the scenery? There's also a scenery. And I don't know if you've noticed, but one of the members in our clan has purchased every single scenery. So if I want to see the scenery, I just go to his base. Because I know you've got it.
Yeah, there's not much going on in it personally for me. But
I think there's
for reasons I've said before, I feel like I should get it.
Yeah.
You know, for the same reasons why I bought the Queen skin last year, I feel like I should because of, you know, certain things recently. So I feel like I should, but again, it's quite expensive.
How much is it for you?
So the King is $9.99.
Yep.
Right? And then the scenery is $6.99. That's a lot of money.
I think you should get both. I think you should.
Oh, now we're convincing me.
But then there is a Lunar New Year special.
Exactly.
Well, and it's got a little trophy thing in there. So
I know they are going at it hard, aren't they? For people with, like, they're just rubbing their hands. Because, look, okay, so we add that all up together, it's 10, 19. So it's about £23, right? And that's almost... That's like a quarter of £100. I mean, it's not that I can't afford it, but I just think that that's quite a lot of money. For, again, untangible things, like you said, right? Now, we all very well that you say, you know, okay, we're in lockdown, it's not like I can go down the pub and have, like, a night out for £25, right? But it's £25. At least in your night out, you've drunk something, or you've eaten something, or what have you, and it's been consumed. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, but again, I feel like I should buy it. I probably will get the King, to be fair, because I have to say it, even though you don't have to.
If they're bringing back the Queen from last year, I can see them doing the same thing for the championship with the King. If they bring out a Queen during that time as well. Mm-hmm. So if that's the case, then I will probably get both and cringe as I'm pressing the button and okaying the purchase.
But are you gonna get then the obstacle?
Oh yeah, like I won't get the scenery because I don't get anything from the scenery. I mean, I don't get anything from the skin, but at least I can put it on and
I mean, I don't get anything from the scenery either, because, you know, like I said, I'm hoping that scenery becomes available for purchase with Jenn at some point, right? But again, I feel like I should. for whatever reasons. But again, that's near 25 quid.
I think I'm probably going to end up getting the hero skins, like I said, just for my reasoning, where if they're going to do the same thing with the Champion King and do a Queen, I'm definitely going to get those. I'm going to cringe as I purchase them for sure. I am going to get the Lunar Year special. It's got a shovel, the 5 million gold, and then that little statue thing, because I feel like I've gotten every other purchasable little statue thing, because it's not because it's a statue, but because it's come with something else that is, you know, kind of motivate, like,
yeah,
okay,
like
yeah,
5 million gold that I can't spend on anything. Just 5 million gold for somebody else to loot.
Yeah. And I'll probably get the 888 as well. A book of everything, a hero potion, and a builder.
Excuse me, now you're just throwing money away. I'm just gonna get the whole thing.
Well, that's why I'm struggling with having to purchase the King, because that's 14, so 28 plus 7 is 35 plus 4. That's $40.
Yeah, Jenn. But just so you know, that obstacle is called a firework fanboy.
That'll clean out my account. I'll have to get another. I'll have to fill it back up.
But yeah, the obstacle is called a firework fanboy. I don't know why.
speaking of the obstacle, do you have one on your base?
The actual obstacle. I have 2.
Oh, I only have 1.
You're just giving me dirty looks now, aren't you?
I only have 1. Why do you always get them early and more?
Well, I noticed that it popped up pretty much as soon as they released it in the shop, and like all the shop offers had come out, and I was like, "What the hell is that sticking out my seed barracks?" Right? Because it was blocking the pot, and it just looked like some sort of gnarled stick. Right? So, my opinion of this lucky shrub, right, is it's an ugly ass shrub. Like, that's not what a lucky shrub looks like. I'm sorry. It looks like it's dead and it's fake and they've coloured in the red bits, right? The bottom half I like there's a little sack, there's a little bowl, some coins and some lucky red wallets. But the shrub is ugly.
Yeah, and
like,
I'm
shrubs are not black in colour. It's dead.
Yeah. It's very disappointing, and for me as well, like if you click on the fortune tree, you know, you get the coin sound, you get coins that are falling.
What sound is it? Sorry.
It's like clicking on a random shrub or a random tree on your base. Like, it doesn't do anything. And like the spooky tree, you get the 7-year present, the balloon pops up, the cake, it does the squeaky noise, the witch hat, it's got, you know, that clicky sound. The lantern, the glowing lantern from last year glows, it flashes, it glows. The fireworks actually do fireworks, and this one does absolutely nothing. So that's what disappoints me most about this, because it does nothing. Like even the Christmas trees, you click on the freaking Christmas trees, and it jingles every single one of them.
That's because the shrub is dead. That's why it doesn't do anything. The shrub is dead. Like, even the fortune tree thing, the fortune tree actually looks alive. Right?
Well, yeah. Click on it and the coins fly off. This one does absolutely nothing.
Because the shrub is dead, Jen. Look at it. It's almost like a Halloween obstacle because it's so gnarly.
Couple tree leaves falling off. Like, it's very underwhelming for me. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be sad to get rid of all the other ones that appear on my base because I'm only keeping one. But I'm just saying, it's very, very underwhelming.
Okay, so after you and I have both dissed I'm sorry, but it is not very pretty. Right? Nope. Like even the little wee mine thing, even though like that firework fanboy thing is particularly creepy because it's got that golden skeleton thing, it would fit in. It's got little wee flames going in. But yeah, the shrubs just, I think they chose the wrong colour of wood, shall we say. Okay, and did you notice that the splash screen had changed?
The splash screen? What is that?
Like the loading splash.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of it?
Well, I can only see it for about 5 seconds and then it goes away. So it looks okay. It looks nice. I can't focus on any one thing in particular because it only appears on my screen for about 5 seconds.
Yeah. Just because it's more fancy than mine. I like it, as in, it's not the worst ones that I've seen, but the issue that I have, and call me for Nickety, the issue that I have is the Valkyrie.
Okay, let me look. Save the photos. Let's take a photo. The belt. Where is she? She kind of looks like she's... Why, what's wrong with her? Looks like she's looking up to the heavens or something.
The issue that I have, and I don't know for sure, because obviously I can only ever see the one splash screen at a time, but to me, I think that Valkyrie's been there before, like that exact same pose.
Oh, maybe.
On another splash screen. So it annoys me, or it grates me to feel the fact that I feel like they've just copied and pasted that Valkyrie in there, and it's not an actual new pose for her. Because
it doesn't look like it fits. It looks like she's like, you look at the P.E.K.K.A, you can see his feet in behind, where it looks like, is the Valk standing on the barbed arm, or like how is she up that high? I don't understand.
Well,
like she
it doesn't even matter the size or what have you. It's just I feel like someone took that sort of shot of a Valkyrie and moved it into the splash screen. As in, for the other things like the barbed or, the goblins or what have you, they look custom made for that splash screen. Rather than, I'm going to reuse this Valkyrie pose and put it into the new splash screen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's, when I look at it, that's what takes it away from me, and I'm like, I've seen that Valkyrie do that pose before. So, generally, I would have loved that splashing, because I think it's quite dynamic. I like how it's like, they've done that sort of popping out kind of pose of the characters in the front, and then the background's kind of softly faded. But the Valkyrie upsets me for it. Because I think that's a little bit lazy. Because obviously the background's been reused, because that dragon wizard tower thing's been done before as well. But the fact that they made the characters in the middle pop out, and the fact that the Valkyrie's the same, I think, because the popping out thing, the whole thing is supposed to be different. Like, they've made changes and put effort in, and then the Valkyrie, and she might be different. I don't know, but when I look at the Valkyrie, there's that annoying sort of twinge in the back of my mind going, I've seen that Valkyrie do that before.
Yeah, very possible.
My screen takes a long time to load, okay? So I'm constantly staring at it. It's hilarious.
I can honestly say I had to take a snapshot because mine does not load. Like I said, if I get 5 seconds, I'm lucky.
Okay. Anything else from the Lunar New Year specials?
I don't think so. Just an update in our war. We've got 2 more. They just cleared 2 of our bases, so they've got 2 more stars. They've got 2 more to get. So, maybe.
Interesting.
They only have 2 attacks left. Next on the list, next and final, is the Hog Mountain Challenge.
Oh yeah, that's part of the Lunar celebrations.
Yeah.
Okay, and what do you want to say about it?
What do you want to say about it? You had an idea and somebody went and wrecked it.
Yeah. I thought that you and I could have both tried it for our first time on this episode. But no, someone got excited and, wanted Christmas to happen already and started tucking in.
Hey, in my defense, it was for 2 builder potions, and I needed that for my king and my camp and the stuff for war.
Yeah.
And I already told you the first time, I had no idea, because I never watch the videos when they come out, I never watch anything about anything, it's just like, oh, new stuff, let me click and try. And the very first time that I threw everything down, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this will be easy, I can get the heroes here, Champ will go in behind. The second that all of those dragons came out, I damn near crapped my pants because I was not expecting it. The big dragon, like the golden dragon, and then an electro dragon, a regular dragon, a baby dragon, plus all the freaking bats. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I failed. failed miserably. I think I rage quit because I was like, there's no way in hell I'm getting this. I gotta, mentally prepare for a CC coming up because I didn't even have a poison. They didn't give me a poison. I was like, how am I going to do this? And I think it took me about 4 or 5 tries after that. I think I got it on the 6th or 7th try. So,
but
yeah,
I think it's a good challenge because clearly it's gotten you out of your comfort zone. It's gotten you excited. It's got you challenged, and that is exactly what it says in the tin. Yeah. It's a challenge, and I think that's good for you because I think you think you're the bee's knees. No, okay. You don't think you're the bee's knees, but I do think, you and me and probably a lot of the population that play class think, we're not too bad. We can build an army for a base, but when you get handed something and you have to figure it out, I think that's quite a decent little puzzle to do. So I think kudos to Supercell for thinking about doing these and taking on board the feedback that people have enjoyed it and giving us an honor.
Yes, to that, because there are times where, when I cook troops for donations, and in my army, I've got like 2 ice golems, I've got giants, pekkas, bunch of bowlers, throw in some hogs, some loons, a random dragon, some archers, wizards. And I actually take that into it because I don't want to waste all the elixir, right? So I take that into a raid, and I think I've 3-starred almost every single time. And I mean, it's not a crappy base either.
How much of that is part of your army? As in, your army is how many troop space? And
wow, yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And, and let's just say what could be in the CC. Right? So the fact that a dragon came out, a golden dragon came out, the fact that bats came out and bats never come out of CCs. I think it's good that they've sort of mixed it up. I like the fact that there's bats coming out. Nobody ever thinks of bats coming out, and I think that's a good thing.
I like that addition. I wonder if they are, if that's going to be in one of the updates coming up.
Having bats come out. It's almost
not so much bats, but I mean, maybe somehow adding a spell into the CC, because I mean, you've got the Skelly spell as well that you can add. You've got the bats that you can add. It would just be interesting to see if that's something that they don't incorporate in the new update into the CC.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it could be a good thing. But I do remember when we used to have, what was it, the the Santa trap for Christmas. Everyone hated that because it was like so OP or something like that, and it was.
What was that? I don't remember that.
I can't remember. No, or it was just some kind of trap. I don't think it was a CC thing, but it was like sort of like a shrinking spell trap or something like that. Does that ring a bell? I might have just made that up, but anyway, what was I going to say? Yeah, so I think it's good that Supercell have created these sort of things that keep things fresh. So what happened? I think first time I tried it, and I've only tried it once, so I'll probably try again. The first time I tried it, obviously it's trying to indicate that you should do some sort of hero walk / of some sort, right? Be it Warden or Queen.
I didn't even try a Warden walk. I just right away went to the Queen.
Right. Well, it's hard to do a Warden walk in it because the heroes are outside. So, but anyway, I got not too bad, right? So I started on like at 6 o'clock or something like that, and killed all the CC troops. And it was all going fine. I think I chose to use the invisibility spell to kill the CC troops with it, because obviously with them all coming out at one time, there's quite a lot of HP there. So I think I used them all, but actually that was fine because of the healers. For the rest of the base, actually it's okay, because then you've got the speed spells. So I went anti-clockwise round, right? And I think I got to the last corner where the town hall was, I did not realize there was about 5 gigantic bombs there that just killed my my queen, because I'd already used my ability at that point as well. I was like, no, I had my ability left. There was the one inferno left, right? And I was like, perfect. I've got my ability, and that's when I'm gonna use it, and then that's fine. But no, the bombs totally set all that off. So I only had one inferno left and whatever was in the corner defenses of that. And that was it. I was like, oh, well, that wasn't too bad for a first try, I thought, for me. But no, it's good to mess around with these sort of new things. I liked it. So now that I have said positive things, you know me, I like a gripe. There is something I don't like about it. Can you guess what it is?
The fact that there's goblins and you really don't need them.
No, the goblins I used to lure the CC.
Oh, I never even thought to do that.
Because there's a gold mine there that's accessible for the goblins, and it triggers the dragons come out.
That would have made it easier. I never lured it at all. I just kept on going and attacking whenever my hero or whatever crossed the line, then it came out. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Jen, sometimes I have good ideas. Okay, the thing I don't like about it is that when I killed the golden dragon there, it triggered the achievement.
Yeah.
And I've not done it in the goblin map. And I don't like that it triggered that because...
Did it do that in your goblin map?
No, the achievement. So I can claim the reward for the gems and whatnot, but I've not cleared the thing on the map.
Yeah.
So I don't think that was intentional, but I don't like that. I don't know if you've done that, if you cleared the goblin map one yet.
I have. Yeah, I've cleared it in the goblin.
So you wouldn't have noticed, but I was like, oh, why is that? Why is it giving me an achievement?
On one of my other accounts, it popped up, and I'm like, what was that? Like, yeah. I didn't get 3 stars or anything, so, but yeah.
That's why. So I don't like that. Obviously, give me gems if you want, but I just don't like the fact that it's triggered that, because, yeah. But okay. What we
I think that, yeah.
Sorry?
That was it? You did mention something about that Santa whatever spell or whatever, the shrink thing, and that gave me an idea. Like, because I'm thinking, what if they eventually do something where you can, on defense, put a spell down that somehow affects the troop? Like, even a free spell. Like, if they could put somewhere on a base and you randomly decide, okay, this is where I want to drop the free spell on my defense base. So then everything that goes and is in that radius of the free spell gets frozen as the troops are going through. It would be interesting if they can somehow put spells on defense. And so we can drop spells and be like, okay, this skeleton spell is going to be in this corner, or this bat spell is going to spawn here with so many bats, and it's going to attack their troops once they go in the radius.
I do think it is an interesting concept. However, I do feel that the backlash would be overwhelming, because if I didn't make it up and there was that shrinking Santa whatever spell, right? I think the Santa spell is something different, but the shrinking spell, right? There was so much negative feedback of how it was messing up wars, because I think they would have to be really careful to not swing the defense to be overpowered, because you know how in the past that Supercell had said offense should be more often than not, swung in their direction to keep people engaged, because nobody wants to lose all the time, kind of thing. So I think they'd have to tread the line in terms of making sure that defense is not OP there.
I think it should be. I think to get around that? Because I mean, right now, I mean, Town Hall 13 isn't easy, but just watching, you can see that, you know, there's still a lot of 3 stars and not. I think at a certain level, it should be introduced just to kind of see, you know, just to make things a little bit more challenging. Like maybe even with the new town hall, making that, you know.
I think, yes, I'm all for it because it's different. But again, I like to play devil's advocate and say that I think it would be highly unlikely that they do, because essentially these are traps, right? And there's a reason that they haven't introduced another tornado trap. And everyone hates the tornado trap, right? So, and that is what you were sort of saying in terms of, okay, as troops get affected by that trap, it's not like they get flung off or they get damaged, they're just affected by it.
Yeah, I think just because you had mentioned it and because you know, we saw the bats come out of the CC, I don't know if that's just kind of their way of saying this is something that's coming, kind of thing, because we've never seen, you know, something like that come out of a CC before. So I'm just wondering if, you know.
It's definitely, I'm all for exciting things like that. But, I mean, I would love another tornado trap, but I don't think people would. Other people would.
It would definitely make things, it'd swing to the defense side of Black. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, interesting enough. That's it for what we have to talk about today. Do you have a Can't Fix Stupid?
So I do and I don't. Well, kind of. Well, this is what I'm doing for Can't Fix Stupid. Okay. You and I have been recruiting, right? And that's where a lot of our Can't Fix Stupid comes from. So for this episode, I thought instead of one particular instance of Can't Fix Stupid, I'm going to have a theme here, whereby today it was quite an interesting day of recruitment, shall we say. So I thought I would go through the responses that I got today from recruiting that fall under the whole Can't Fix Stupid umbrella, right? So, and the theme of it is, when people join, we ask them to have a look at the clan description, because it has information in terms of what our clan's about, whether we're a war clan, whether we're a pushing clan, farm clan, how do we run, right? What is our mentality about how our clan functions, right? So that's all there in the clan description, right? So that's why when people join, we say, have you read the clan description? Do you know what that means, right? You know, what the words mean. Because again, there's another big hint there that actually, if you look at the clan description and it's in English, then we mainly communicate in English, right? It doesn't mean if it's in English, we speak in Greek or we speak in Italian or Brazilian or whatever, right? So again, these are all sort of subtle cues for people to understand whether this is the right clan for them, right? So today has been, you know, you and I have been recruiting, we get a lot of people in, and before I go on with the theme of here are the responses to the question of, do you understand what the clan description says? Okay, so I've written them down because there's so many corkers, right? But before I get onto that, right, I would just like to just point out that I must have kicked, since the last time we spoke, I've probably kicked in excess of like at least 250 people. Right? Because there was 2 days where I woke up running. Well, let me rearrange that sentence so it makes sense. For 2 days running, when I woke up, the clan was full. So that's 50 members, right? And let's just say we have 15 members, 10 to 14 to 15 members that are actual established members. So that's 35 people a pop when I wake up, right? So I must have kicked a lot of people this week. And So like we talked about recruiting tool and how it doesn't work and whatnot. It's not that we can't get them in the door. It's just that they're not the right clan for them or us. Yeah. Right? They'll come on and log off and never come back again. They'll come on and actually start speaking a different language. It's not the fact that we can't get them in, it's just the fact that we're not right for them, or they're not right for us. It's just yeah. Okay, so I'm just having a little bit of a moan because I'm gonna need new shoes with the amount of kicking I've been doing. Okay, but anyway, back to my Can't Fix Stupid theme. So the question that I ask people when they come in is, do you understand what clan description says? Simple enough question. Okay, it's a yes or no answer, or generally that is the gist. Okay, so I noted down the various things that people have said. So these are my things, right? So again, the question is, I feel like I should say this because I've dealt with a lot of stupid today, and I'm not saying that you're stupid, but I feel like I should be explicit. The question is, do you understand what clan description says? Okay. So I've got, where is it? I've also had, what is that? This is all today, by the way. I've also had in response to my question, do you understand what clan description says? So, yeah. Okay. And then I've also had, H double or triple M, and I'm like, what is that? Is that a yes? Is that a no? What the hell? That's not even an answer. Okay, is not an answer to nothing. That's like, when your other half is annoying you, you go, as in, yeah, I don't agree with you, or I'm not really listening. So, annoys me a lot, by the way, and I get a lot of that. I also had today a response of, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying because I do not speak English. I'm like, okay, fine. And I had a lot of just on top of that as another stream, I'll be like, okay, we're an English language clan, right? And I get a lot, I don't know if you get this, but I get a lot of, I don't speak English. I think you should speak whatever the hell language you're saying, like Spanish or Arabic or, what have you. I get a lot of that. It's like, I don't speak English. You speak Spanish. And I'm like, oh yeah. Excuse me while I flick that switch so I can speak Spanish. Right? It's not blooming subtitles that you choose the language. It's just the way that they say it. It's like, I don't speak English, you speak Spanish.
I think, are people that dumb in that just because it says international clan, that means that we speak multiple languages?
I know, but it's just the way that they say it. I don't speak English, you speak Spanish. And I don't know if that's just the way that it's translated, but it's just the way that it says, almost like, no, you speak my language.
Or missing punctuation, because you speak Spanish just with a period, or you speak Spanish with a question mark. It's asking and saying two different things, right? Mm-hmm. So punctuation would help. Yeah. Spelling would help.
So that was the response I got. And then I had multiple responses of, hi, I'm blah, and I'm X a number of years. I'm like, okay, so you're just not reading my question. And then...
a couple of those, hi, my name is this, and I'm from here. And then I say my welcome again, and then, do you want to be first? And it's just
it's almost like they're ignoring you, aren't they? And they're like, I'm having a conversation, but you're not. Yeah. It's one-sided. or to follow on from that, it's like, I'll ask them a question. I'll say, do you understand what clan description says? And they'll say, okay. And I'm like, brilliant. right? So you say the next stuff to try and get, because you can't fit everything into the clan description, so you need to tell them more stuff, right? And then they say okay again, right? And you're like, okay, good, everything's also okay so far. Woohoo! Some might get another person, right? But then somebody else will have joined, and then I'll be like, okay, other new person, do you understand what clan description says, right? And then the original guy says, okay. And you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you just saying okay because you think that's the answer to all my... You clearly see that there's a question mark, so you just say okay, and that's all fine. But, I mean, what does that get you other than, not being able to understand anything and eventually getting... it's not good for you and it's not good for the clan. So that happened today. But the absolutely best and, I don't know, WTF response I got today to that question was one word, and that response was penis.
What?
So there you go. That sums up recruiting today.
What?
Those are the replies I've had today, Jen.
That's the guy that got...
No, somebody else. That was...
No, that you got that message that...
Oh, well,
no?
I don't think I reported him. I don't know why. It was clearly I was just in it with stupidity that I didn't report him. But yeah, that was one reply that I got today. So that pretty much sums up recruitment for today.
Oh. Well, and I mean, just how recruiting has gone. It's, February 13th? We've been recruiting since the new year, and we've gotten, 2 people? One of which is new now, and the other one didn't survive leagues. Sad the recruitment.
I wonder if they sort of ask for feedback, but for the recruitment tool, but also open the doors a little bit, because I do feel like the quality has gone down a bit. Not that the quality was particularly high to begin with, but I feel like they've sort of relaxed some of the whatever rules that they have, so that you end up inviting more people that don't, that don't have as many brain cells. I don't know. I mean, I still fully believe that we can have people from all over, anywhere in the world, and as long as they communicate in English, it doesn't matter that they speak a different language as their main language. It's just as long as you're able to communicate in a non-aggressive manner in English. But yeah, so that's my Can't Fix Stupid / rant about recruiting today. But yeah, I had a lot of stupid today. But
I probably have a lot tonight, because if you were recruiting lots, I was recruiting lots already. They're all going to flood in tonight. So
well, come on. You can't beat that response.
No, that was a good one.
And do you know what he did after he said that? He requested for troops. So I'm like, seriously, in what world does that work? But I'll let you wrap up now.
Yeah, so that will be it for the episode today. And next week, they better come out with some better events with a gold rune, because if they don't, I'm going to be very ticked off. Seriously, I am choked about not getting that gold rune. I've got walls to do, for crying out loud.
You've got a season pass. There's a gold rune in the season pass.
Yeah, but there's always a gold rune in the season pass. They took mine away from the clan games. So. And then we will, touch base again with how our wars are going, and maybe kind of touch in and see how things are going with the little clan and our little guys, and hopefully, there'll be something else exciting next week that we can talk about, and we'll go from there. Okay. So we will see you all then.
Bye.